Men and women's track and field return for the spring, while softball picks up 2 more wins to steady the boat. Hello, I'm Anna Gomez.
And I'm Brendan Rigney. Baseball's offense heats up with the impending spring, while lacrosse tallies another for the win column. You're watching LaSalle TV's home for Explorer Athletics, SportsLine. Welcome to another great episode, Anna and I at the desk for you. We have Jake Smolinski's chat with women's basketball star Micaiah Owens, along with Mickey Kelly for some exploring headlines.
And Tim Durante will tell you what to watch in this week's marquee matchup. But first, let's catch up on what went down this past week for our athletes. The men's track and field started off the spring season well at the Big Five Invitational on March 21st, hosted by UPenn. Sophomore Chris Sanders made his way back into the headlines, winning the 800-meter run. The Atlantic 10 champion of the event last year, Sanders turned in an impressive time of 1 minute and 53 seconds. Not too far behind, though, freshman Colin Pierloy came in third with a time of 1 minute and 58 seconds. Next on the list of first-place wins, freshman Justin Guerre took the gold in the 100-meter run with a time of 11 seconds. In the distance events, Ian Barnhill dominated the 1,500-meter race out of 3 explorers with a personal record of 4 minutes and 2 seconds. Good for 5th place. Sophomore Bradley Hewer bested his previous personal record in the 5,000-meter run with a time of 14 minutes and 33 seconds.
The fastest women of the blue and gold melted the winter blues away at the Philadelphia College Classic on the 21st and 22nd. Junior Shannon Dwyer ran less than half a second off first place in the 400-meter dash. Right behind Dwyer was freshman Teo Taylor and junior Kate Conville, who clinched 7th and 8th place respectively. Freshman Amber Jenkins was also just a few short seconds from her top spot in the 200-meter race. The freshman debuted for the outdoor event to take 9th. Another freshman who caught fire early was Michelle Myland, who blazed past 20 other athletes for first in the 1,500-meter. In the 4x400-meter relay, Dwyer, Conville, Tyler, and Brittany Simpson paced the field to place 6th in 4 minutes and 9 seconds. The women will be joined by the men and travel next weekend to the Stony Brook Invitational in Long Island, New York.
The softball team kicked off the Atlantic 10 play with a bang on Sunday, March 22nd, as the Explorers swept their doubleheader with George Washington. In the first game, LaSalle's offense wasted no time getting started, scoring 8 runs in the first 3 innings. The first 3 runs came in the bottom of the first off RBI singles from Suzanne Swanicki and Taylor Robaugh. In the bottom of the 3rd inning, the Explorers tackled on 5 more runs, including a base clearing from Michelle Haggerty, who totaled 4 RBIs on the day. 2 more runs on the bottom of the 4th, along with a complete game from pitcher Mackenzie Peace, ensured a 10-1 victory for the women.
Well, in Game 2, LaSalle's offense picked up right where it left off in Game 1. Michelle Haggerty led off the bottom of the 1st with a home run to put the Explorers up 1-0. 2 more runs were added in on the bottom of the 3rd from a Mackenzie Obert RBI double and a Christina Bescara RBI single to make the lead 3-0. George Washington scored a run in the top of the 5th, but just like in Game 1, LaSalle's pitching stayed strong throughout to keep the Explorers in front. Mackenzie Peace started this game as well, throwing the first 4 innings while only giving up 1 hit. Junior Mary Kate Scott closed out the final 3 innings, securing a 3-1 Explorers win.
The winning continues for softball as they beat UPenn on Wednesday the 25th. LaSalle jumped out early with a 3-run homer off the bat of Susan Swanicki to start the first inning. The Quakers answered with 4 straight runs of their own in the 4th, but LaSalle shot back with a lone run homer from freshman Val Pinero to even it up. The score went back and forth once more until the dagger to the UPenn heart with another home run from Pinero. With 3 home runs in a single game, LaSalle got its 4th win by the score 7-6.
Well, Anna, it is so pleasant to see the softball team picking up these wins after starting the season winless out of 6 games. They spent all that time in Florida and came in with just 1 win. Now they're back here up in the state of Pennsylvania, great state, and they're blowing everyone away. It's spectacular, you know. But now we're on to baseball. You excited for some baseball?
I'm very excited for baseball.
Let's get on to some baseball. LaSalle baseball spent their weekend at Davidson University for a 3-game series, getting their first glance at Atlantic 10 competition. The Explorers could only walk away with just one win in a hard-fought series. Game 1 brought to extra innings, and Davidson's Lee Miller stroked a walk-off single in the bottom of the 10th inning to seal an 11-10 victory for the Wildcats. However, the Explorers answered in Game 2, shutting out the Wildcats 8-0. Junior Joey Ravert pitched 7 scoreless innings, holding the Wildcats to only 4 hits and a walk. Colin McGowan batted in 3 RBIs, Billy Worswick took the mound as the closer, and tossed 2 no-hit innings. Game 3 was quite the nail-biter to the finish. McGowan put the Blue and Gold out in front with an RBI single to center in the second to give the Explorers a 1-0 lead. The Wildcats tied the game up in the 7th after 6 scoreless innings pitched by LaSalle's Jordan Meyer. In the bottom of the 9th, Davidson's Tyler Agard's singled in the winning run to win the series.
The team then traveled to Delaware on Tuesday, the 24th, to take on the University of Delaware Blue Hens. The Explorers began the game off strong with an explosive offense and great pitching. The Blue and Gold jumped out to an early lead with 7 runs on 5 hits in the top of the first inning that was kicked off with a 2-run double by Josh Savakinis. Ryan Welling then added to this with an RBI single, where Derek Procknall worked a walk to force Delaware starter Matt Hornick out of the game. Colin McGowan would ground out to help Welling and Procknall reach home. Mark Williams and Adam Faust would tag team on the mound to shut out the Blue and Hens until the 9th inning. LaSalle would go on to claim another W with the score of 9-1. The Explorers host the Dayton Flyers for a 3-game series at Hank DeVincent Field beginning this Friday, April 3rd at 3 p.m.
The LaSalle golf team competed at the Middleburg Bank Intercollegiate, hosted by William & Mary in Williamsburg, Virginia, from Sunday, March 22nd to Tuesday, the 24th. The Explorers were one of 30 teams to play at the 54-hole tournament. Senior Greg Goodreds led LaSalle by shooting 24 over par for the event. The senior finished the tournament tied for 111th place out of the 159-player field. His teammate, graduate student Tony Eispoon, carded a 25 over par, to help him finish tied for 121st place. Senior Justin Smith finished with LaSalle's lowest score in the 3rd and final round of the tournament by posting a 6 over par 76. As a team, the Explorers finished 29th in the largest field in collegiate golf this season. The golf team will next participate at the Wildcat Invitational in Malvern, Pennsylvania on Monday, March 30th and Tuesday, March 31st.
Well, it's good to see the baseball team is back swinging. It was rough there for a while.
It was really rough. They only picked up the 1 win from Davidson, but you know they kind of turned it around with that last one there. So, but lacrosse on another hot streak. I had the chance to go to a game this past Saturday, the 21st, and what a nail-biter it was. Well, LaSalle's lacrosse team stayed home on Saturday the 21st to face Sacred Heart University. The game began slowly for both offenses, with saves by Explorer Gabby Antonelli as well as Pioneer Kelly Keenan. Defenses were strong and stingy, with members of both teams taking shots at each other and falling to the turf more than usual. Bodies were literally hitting the floor left and right. Well, after over 60 minutes of scoreless action, however, Keenan would find trouble for the rest of the game, with LaSalle scoring 4 goals in the opening half. 2 came from Caitlin Fay, with Anna Kelly and Caitlin Brostrand adding 1 apiece. Before the horn sounded for intermission, Sacred Heart kept it close with 3 goals of their own. Half 2 was a different story, with goals by both Fay and Brostrand in the opening 5 minutes. The team would continue to roll, scoring 11 goals in the second period. Antonelli had 3 saves, Brostrand and Fay had 4 goals individually, with Claire Andrews, Kelly Furman, and Katie Fonte scoring 2 apiece. Ellie Ilgenfritz notched 9 assists, while Fay had 8, and Brostrand and Lana Diffendell had 6. LaSalle won 15-5.
Well, on Wednesday, March 25th, lacrosse finally fell after their 3-game winning streak. The team faced off against Drexel in one of the most anticipated Big 5 games of the season. The Explorers hopped off to a 3-2 lead in the first half to only get shut out by a 5-0 run by the Dragons. LaSalle rallied in the second half with the help of Caitlin Fay, scoring a total of 3 goals alongside Caitlin Brostrand. Aaron McCabe and Ali Ilgenfritz scoring 2, however. It would not be enough as the Dragons stayed in control and won 12-10. This brings the Explorers to an even 4-4 record.
Women's tennis took to the courts on March 24th for the first time in nearly a month. The away meet against the St. Joe's Hawks did not turn out to be the success that the team was hoping for. Jade and Jayla Smith dropped the first doubles contest 8-0, while Caitlin Coelho and Alexandra Santorelli lost the number 2 doubles 8-1. LaSalle hoped to redeem their struggles with success in singles action, but their plan did not go according to plan. The Explorers could not get anything going for them and lost all 6 of the singles matches in straight sets, losing the meet 8-0. Well, this takes us to our first commercial break, but stick around. Jake Smolinski will be chatting it up with a member of LaSalle women's basketball team.
And later, we'll have Exploring Headlines with Mickey Kelly, followed by Kevin Cook's that's Tim Durant on Marquee Matchup. Stay tuned.
I can take her home. I got her. Yeah. No, it's really fun. I can take her home. It's no big deal.
Don't be that friend and help put an end to sexual assault.
LaSalle TV is the place to be. Want to be cool like us is the place to be.
Watching shows and gaining knowledge, this show is the best thing a part of this college.
Laced with faces, teach about fun. This place is basically for everyone.
It was cool talking to you. Hope you enjoyed our flow. So sit back, relax, and enjoy our show.
Welcome back. Our friendly neighborhood, Jake Smolinski, had the opportunity to sit down and talk with a member of the women's basketball team, Micaiah Owens. Check it out.
Hello and welcome to another edition of On the Sidelines. I'm your host for today, Jake Smolinski, and I'm sitting down here with basketball phenom from LaSalle, Micaiah Owens. Thank you so much for coming on today.
You're welcome.
All right, so to start things off, you were recently, just out of the blue, you got the chance, you were honored with the Big Five Leading Scorer Award and also second team. So my first question then is, how does it feel to be a sophomore going through this? It's incredible.
It actually feels pretty good. It feels like I'm getting recognition, kind of. It's only motivation to go into my junior year positive.
Yeah, awesome. And so then this season, what do you think, because you had a really solid freshman year as well, but what do you think really clicked this year especially?
I guess I kind of knew what to expect. My freshman year, I was kind of nervous, and I just wanted to get out there and play. My sophomore year, I was like, okay, this is what I have to do. I must do this, and kind of I guess I knew.
Yeah, and does that come with, because you guys have a serious group of veteran basketball players. You have everybody from Alicia Cropper, Indigo Dickens, everybody, and also a whole crew of people who are all your age. That how does it how does that help the transition for you guys?
When we first came in, they were pretty welcoming, and they was excited about the season, oh, we're gonna be able to do this next year, and it's it kind of encourages you, and they tell you, I'm excited to play with you, and we can't wait to do this and that, and it kind of builds you, and then you just carry on from that.
Yeah. And so let's talk a little bit about the season actually. And so you guys just finished 1 under 500, which is it was a little dicey, but you guys had some really, really standout games there. But when you guys went into the postseason, what happened in that game against Davidson?
Oh, I don't know. We all wanted it. It was just, I don't know, I guess because we had to play in the play-in game, it was kind of a downfall in a way. But then it was I guess, I don't know.
It just all came together? Yeah, I got you. Because you went 6 for 9 for threes, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And so, yeah, because Davidson's a pretty tough team too. Mm-hmm. And so that's really, really solid. And so then you guys did have a bit of a heartbreaking loss against Rhode Island. And I know you also had another really, really incredible game. What happened with that then? Like, was it just too much? Like,
No, I feel like we had a couple breaks in the second half of the game that we shouldn't have. We was up the whole first quarter. Once we got to like the second half, I kind of feel like we settled in where we should have kept pushing.
I feel you. And so I guess coming off of that then, what is it like, what do you think it's going to be like next year? Because now you're going to be kind of taking the same role like Alicia Cropper had for this new wave of players coming in. What do you think that's going to feel like for you, like showing the ropes to everybody and being like one of the veterans on the team?
Well, I'm not really much of a vocal person, so I guess I have to show through my actions. No lacking, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotcha. And so then who do you think is going to step up and take like the place of like captain and really like be like that vocal leader that you guys need?
I feel like Jasmine Austin, she will be like a vocal leader. We have Deja coming back, and we also have Eb. She's going to be a senior next year, so she's pretty vocal and she handles her responsibilities and pushes us. So.
And so then, overall, then who are going to be some standouts on the team you think next year, especially like going into the season? Like, what are your guys' hopes that you guys have for the team for the regular season?
Well, we have Amy. She's coming back. She's a freshman. She's going to be a sophomore next year. She's a scorer. She's really aggressive. We have her. We also have Ashanti. She's like a big, so we're not really, I guess, missing out like on a bigs position kind of. And our guards, we just gonna have to play a little harder, push more. We can't slip up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so then with that, what are you guys going to be like? Who's going to be like the main rival that you guys are looking to take down next year? Like,
I guess it would be St. Joe's. We haven't beaten them so far since I've been here. It's going to be my third year next year.
So this is like your vengeance. This is what you need. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I also was recruited by them, so it's kind of weird because my final decisions came down to LaSalle and them. So.
Yeah. And so where exactly are you from?
I'm from New Jersey.
Oh, awesome. Okay. And so, what made you choose LaSalle though over St. Joe's?
I felt more welcomed here, and it was a pretty comfortable environment. Yeah, I just liked it more.
Yeah. Well. Thank you so much for coming on the show and everything. It's been great to hear about the season. Congratulations once again on your Big 5 stuff. That is incredible.
Thank you.
And you heard it from us here at SportsLine. Sophomore phenom Micaiah Owens. Thank you so much for coming on. Yeah. So, anyways, that is it for On the Sidelines, and back to you guys.
I guess we're cutting out.
Okay. I guess we're going to a buffer. Thanks, Jake. Well, it's time for our next break, but stick around because Mickey Kelly will be here with us when we return. We'll be right back.
I wasn't talking to. Welcome back. Now joining us to explore some headlines, Mickey Kelly.
Thanks for having me. Let's get to it. LaSalle athletes pulled in plenty of awards for last week's performances. Freshman runner Justin Gurry was named A10 Rookie of the Week for finishing in the top 2 for 100-meter and 200-meter runs in the Big 5 Invitational. On the mound, junior Joey Rayford shares Big 5 Pitcher of the Week honors after throwing 4 scoreless innings and earning his 4th win of the season. Finally, lacrosse player Anastasia Fries was named A10 Defensive Player of the Week. She's cold. She held Sacred Heart's leading scorer to 0 points. The men's and women's basketball teams picked up a few awards following the conclusion of their respective seasons. Alicia Cropper and Micaiah Owens were named to the Big 5 second team. Cropper scored 11.7 points per game this season, playing all 28 games despite an injury. Owens led the team with 13.8 points per game. On the men's side, Jordan Price made Big 5 first team, while Jarrell Wright was named to the second team. The transfer Price led the team with 17.2 points per game. Second in the Big 5, Wright added 12 points per game himself, while leading the team in field goal shooting for the 4th straight year. Switching to the classroom, sophomore Hank Davis of men's basketball was named Big 5 Scholar Athlete of the Year. The bio major scored a stellar GPA of 3.78. Meanwhile, Vince Perozzi was named to the 810's track and field academic all-conference team for the 2nd straight year. The grad student and business major compiled a GPA of 3.59. Finally, 11 members of the field hockey team were given gladiator honors by the National Field Hockey Coaches Association. What's more, the team as a whole was named a national academic team for maintaining a squad GPA of 3.0. We are pleased to announce for our last headline that former LaSalle soccer player Jason Plumhoff has been signed by the USL's Harrisburg City Islanders. The class of 2013 grad and former A10 2013 Offensive Player of the Year spent time overseas in Denmark before returning stateside. Plumhoff sits at number 2 in LaSalle's assists, records with 26, and 4th overall in points with 80. Wow,
Oh,
it's very impressive.
Very impressive. Mickey, pleasure to have you on.
Oh, it's great to be here.
Another week, yet again, of seeing success in the classroom for LaSalle athletes. But let's talk about Jason Plumhoff. He was a big part of the soccer team when he was here. I always expected him, as well as John McCarthy, to find places in the professional leagues. And here we are. He's coming back stateside after heading to Denmark. So here he is now, back with the Harrisburg City Islanders.
Here's your degree, by the way.
Thank you. Another thing, the Big 5, totally owned by LaSalle basketball, both men's and women's team. How awesome is that, Mickey?
More smarter than the Penn Quakers, that's for sure.
Yes, sir. But little shocked to see a Jarrell Wright didn't get first team, Anna. Yeah. He got second. What's going on there? I don't understand. But
you're right. Cheaters.
Sometimes we just don't know what's going on. But now that we've covered the past, let's look to the future. Tim Durante brings us this week's marquee matchup. Check it out.
Hello, and welcome to another exciting edition of Marquee Matchup. I'm Tim Durante. For this week's segment, we highlight the women's lacrosse team as they take on their fellow 810 competitor, George Washington, this Sunday, March 29th, at McCarthy Stadium. The Explorers have had an overall decent start to their season, as they sit with a record of 4 wins and 3 losses. However, the Explorers have been on a roll as of late, winning 3 straight games, outscoring their opponents 51-11. Looking forward to Sunday's game, the Explorers must be prepared, as it is their first conference game of the year. For the Explorers to come out on top in this game, they will need key contributions from sophomore Gabby Antonelli and junior Caitlin Fay. Sophomore Gabby Antonelli is goalkeeper for the Explorers. As she has started all 7 games, the coaching staff believes heavily in her play as they continue to place her between the posts. The goalkeeper is a crucial position in lacrosse because it is the last line of defense for any team. Antonelli is currently 4-3 as the keeper, having an even save percentage at .500, facing 143 shots, saving 58 of them. For the Explorers to leave Sunday victorious, they will need key saves from Antonelli in order to give the Explorers a fighting chance. On the offensive side of things, the Explorers will look for Caitlin Fay to keep their scoring success alive. Fay is the leading goal scorer for the Explorers, capping a total of 14 goals on the season. Fay is a fierce attacker, as she always finds ways to put the ball in the net, or forcing the goalkeeper from the other team to stop her shots. Her 14 goals this season have come off of 27 shots, in which 21 of those are on goal. Hopefully, Fay can keep up her high shooting percentage, because it seems to be working rather well for the Explorers. Now, to our keys to the game. Necessary things the Explorers must do in order to come out of the game with a win is to come out of the gates attacking George Washington with as much pressure as they can. George Washington has struggled so far this year, starting their season with 2 wins and 5 losses. George Washington has had difficulty slowing down their opponents on offense this season, as they allow an average of 12 goals per game. If the Explorers were able to get a few quick goals off the start, this should help them in getting the win. However, it's not the only production of goals that will win them the game, as they will need their defense on lock. George Washington is a team that has been down early in games this season and has had to fight their way back into it. So they score most of their goals in the second half. Look for the Explorers to change up their looks on defense, playing tight coverage on the attackers, and hope to slow down the goal-scoring threats for George Washington. If the Explorers are able to execute both their play offensively and defensively, then hopefully we shall see them leave Sunday's game receiving their first conference win of the year. Don't forget to stop on by McCarthy Stadium this Sunday, March 29th, to help cheer on your women lacrosse team for this week's marquee matchup. I'm Tim Durante. Go Explorers.
Well, you may have noticed no coaches in coffee this week, but I'm pleased to tell you next week, here's a little bit of a preview for you. I'm going to have the chance to sit down and sip some cappuccinos with the one and only Coach G of the men's basketball team. I'm excited. Anna's excited. Mickey doesn't know what to say.
Awesome.
It's amazing.
Coach G, he's a great guy.
There you have it.
We're going to go on the golf course later.
Well, that just about wraps it up for this week. And if you can't make it out to the game, be sure to see the marquee matchup and tune in next week for our coverage. And be sure to keep up with this weekend's other sporting events by following us on Twitter at SportsLine LTV. We post game updates and sneak peeks into the upcoming show.
Also, check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/LaSalleTV. We welcome you to send us your thoughts and suggestions about the show on either website.
Well, for Mickey, Jake, and our entire SportsLine team, I'm Anna Gomez.
And I'm Brendan Rigney. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you at the game.